Welcome back to the Sibling Group Chat. I'm Owen.
And I'm Cassidy.
Today we are back at it with the Odyssey review, episode 69, our best vacation ever. Man, am I excited for this episode. I don't think I was excited when I started listening to this episode. I just enjoyed Jimmy more than I remembered I did from this episode.
Yeah, it's a good one. He's got some good, one-liners and stuff in here.
You know,
And
I feel like that's almost all he's got, too. Like, he doesn't have a lot of lines in this episode, but he maximizes the time he had.
it's true. It's true. Well, and there's not really, it's a very simple plot. The episode, there's not a whole lot of, conflict. It's just us enjoying the Barclay family together. And it's a good time. Because we haven't had them together, I don't think, since the budget episode. So it's been a while.
The budget.
Always the budget. But, yeah. Before we get too far ahead of ourselves, this episode originally aired on July 22nd, 1989. It is a part of Daring Deeds, Sinister Schemes, and in this episode, the Barclays take the best vacation they've ever had without leaving Odyssey. And our theme is family togetherness.
Yes. The Barclays, summertime, it's vacation time, and so Mrs. Barclay's going through the finances to see if they can go on vacation.
Speaking of Mrs. Barclay, I'm pretty sure we're on a new Mrs. Barclay, but I did not listen to the last episode she was in to check because I couldn't be bothered.
Which would be the third Mrs. Barclay, right? Am I right about that?
Yes, I think so because the very first episode
we had the first episode. Yeah, and then we have second Mrs. Barclay, now third Mrs. Barclay, and I feel like this is the Mrs. Barclay I think of as Mrs. Barclay.
Yes, I think this one sticks around for a while, honestly, until Jimmy becomes a teenager. I feel like.
Yeah.
There's this Mrs. Barclay,
like
and then
after.
There's Stuart's mother. You know.
Yes.
There's a different
not the
one
same
for
person.
It's not the same person. Yeah.
Just kidding. It is the same person. But yeah. Yes, she tells Jimmy that they won't be able to afford taking a vacation this summer if they still want to take a ski trip in the winter. And Jimmy's like, oh, that's okay. It doesn't bother me too much. It's Donna you've got to worry about because she's the one who's really set on a vacation this year. And they go through all the things she's been doing since she got back from camp to indicate that she's ready for a vacation.
Was she counting their luggage, and what else would she do?
She's collecting travel brochures, asking how many miles were on the car, which miles on the car is completely irrelevant to being able to take a vacation. You can just keep adding those.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't, actually, for all of you who don't know, since I'm assuming that's most of you, our car that we had our entire childhood had probably 270,000 miles on it before we got a new car.
And it's still going.
Oh yeah, I just passed 318,000 out of earlier this week.
Yeah, that's your college car, right?
Yeah, my college was on this street. Just kidding. My college is not on this street, and it is my college car. But
yes.
if anybody knows what that's from, let us know.
Yeah. But yeah, Jimmy's like, yeah, I don't care, but good luck with Donna.
And Mrs. Barclay is like, we'll have to break it to her gently. And then Donna comes in and is like, break what to me gently? And then Mrs. Barclay goes, we've got some bad news. And then Jimmy's like, we can't go on vacation this year. That's your idea of gently? Can't beat around the bush with these things, Mom.
It's best to just get them out in the open. Oh, I love Jimmy.
Yes, me too. And see, this line I remembered, but then several of his other ones I had forgot, and they were cracking me up when I was listening to this.
Yeah, he's got a lot of good ones.
But Donna's like, well, Mrs. Barclay says it's not in the budget, and then Donna goes, the budget? Ever since we got that budget, we haven't been able to do anything.
Yeah.
And then Jimmy's like see, told you
Mary...
you should go nuts.
Yeah. I just like that Mary's there. She's like, we all want to go skiing, right? We're establishing now the Barclays are going to go skiing, and Donna wants to go. It's a very important detail to remember once Christmas
It's a
rolls
surprise
around.
tool that can help us later.
Yes. It's foreshadowing for no reason. Do we need to foreshadow that? No. But just remember that we did.
But Donna says, well, and then Mrs. Barkley actually, I think, asks, like, last year we had to practically drag you into the car to go on vacation. Why it's different this year? And Donna's like, I've had a
Yeah, I
hard
just
year.
which she has. But I appreciate that we
Yeah,
are bringing up last summer's vacation, like the very first Barkley episode. It's just I feel like
yeah,
Odyssey so rarely references old Odyssey. Like it's just nice to acknowledge. Last summer you didn't want to go.
yeah. Um, and then she says they're probably the only family not going anywhere. And then Mr. Barkley's like, oh, I'm sure there's somebody else. Or when they start going through all the friends that they know who are going places, and then right before Mr. Barkley gets home, they remember that Lucy had said that their family wasn't going anywhere. And then Mr.
Well,
Barkley comes home.
Donna.
He
Well,
apparently works
Robin's or
with.
not Robin. Yeah. Sorry. Donna says, yeah, Lucy says she's not going anywhere because Mary brought up, doesn't Hal Cunningham work with your father? Um,
Yeah.
And then I put in my notes, George
Then,
comes home and does not read the room.
yeah, real. It's like, I was just talking to Hal Cunningham, and he said that he got a huge
like,
tax refund. He's taking his whole family to Hawaii.
And Donna just storms out of the room.
And then Jimmy goes, nice timing, Dad.
Like, what was this something I said?
But then I believe the next day, because it's on his way home from work, so it wouldn't be the same day, George goes to Whit's End. And when he gets there, Whit's like, I don't know where Donna or Jimmy are. And George's like, oh, I do. They're at home. I stopped here for myself.
I just think it's funny. This is like a recurring bit. Because at some point in time later, Whit says the same thing to Dale Jacobs, where Dale Jacobs comes in and he's like, I don't know where Melanie and Robin are. And Dale's like, I do. They're at home. Like, when adults come in, Whit just assumes they're looking for their children, and it's just kind of funny.
Yeah. Even the adults like to go talk to Whit sometimes.
Yeah, because adults can't solve their own problems because they can't solve their kids' problems. Only Whit can solve the problems.
But yeah, George went to Whit just to decompress, but also talk to Whit. And he orders himself a Wad Fam chalk sod, which Whit's like, a what?
It's like a right there on your menu.
It's like, oh, that's a world famous chocolate soda.
Yes, and thus the Wad Fam Chalk Sod was born.
I believe that's the only time they ever actually say it, isn't it?
But no, I feel like they bring it up more later. Maybe only in the fandom does it become a thing, but I feel like it's still a thing in Odyssey after this.
I don't know. Somebody who knows more than us would know.
Yes, somebody will tell us,
anyway,
or we'll find out.
He tells Whit about not going on vacation. He says that everybody's really down, and Whit's like, "Is it just them?" And he's like, "No, it's me too. I miss going. I like going on vacation. I'm a big kid when it comes to going on vacations."
Did this at all remind you of when Whit came to the Barclays house at Christmas, and George's like, "We just go all out for Christmas."
I think he might even say he's a big kid at Christmas too.
I think maybe he does, yeah. But I was like, I feel like we've had this conversation before.
Yeah. But Whit's like, well, you don't have to go anywhere to have a good time. You know, like, honestly, it's a small town, but there are things to do. And then that gives George the idea, like, well, maybe we should just have a vacation without going anywhere, which I believe in the modern day we would call this a staycation.
I was just going to say, it's called a staycation now, but I don't think that was a term yet in 1989. The Barclay family took the OG staycation.
Yes, they were the trendsetters.
Yes.
But George is so excited about his idea that he heads for home to talk to his family, leaving Whit with his Wad Fam chalk sod.
Yeah, he does pay for it, but it's like, here, you can have it. Whit's like, don't mind if I do.
Yeah. But anyway, so George goes home and he tells his family, he's like, well, first, what is he? He walks in and says, like, how are you doing or something like that. And Donna says, like, can't you just hear us, like, joking and laughing or something like that?
Yeah. This time he does read the room and chooses to ignore the vibe.
Yeah. He's like, I have some news. Like, guess who's going on a vacation?
Or no, I think Donna's like, who else is going on vacation?
Oh, yeah, it's who else is going on vacation. He's like, nobody except us. And so then they all start guessing where they're going to go because he tells them to. And then he's like, well, I didn't say we were going anywhere. And then Mrs. Barkley, is this some kind of cruel joke?
It's like, it's very cruel, George.
He's like, I've never been more serious in my life. I got the idea from Wit. And then Jimmy goes, I think Mr. Whitaker's been spending too much time in the imagination station.
And then both his parents are like, Jimmy. There's a lot of lines that he has in this where his parents just go, Jimmy.
There's one coming up here in a little bit, too. Actually, several. Yes. But then Mr. Barkley's like, we can have a great vacation here. Like, there's plenty of things to do, but it's not.
No, I think
what you do
he
on
says
vacation.
What makes up a great vacation, and they name off all these things, and then we get the very first wrong.
Yes, wrong. I can't believe I didn't put that in my notes.
I did. That gets quoted.
Yeah, it's like it's not what you do on the vacation. Yes, it does, but it's who you do it with that makes it a great. And then we have another Jimmy one-liner. He goes, "You want a second opinion on that?"
I love that one. I think I had forgotten about that one. It's just like, wow, Jimmy.
I had to.
Yeah.
I think because they're a little quiet, like they're definitely background ones that I had missed them before. But it's like, you want a second opinion on that?
It's again reminiscent of Peace on Earth when George is like, I told Wit that the gifts weren't the most important part of Christmas to us. I guess I was wrong. And Jimmy, or no, I think it's Donna, and that one's like,
I could have told you that. Yeah. But then, like, they talk about it a little bit more, and he asks, like, if they're in, and Mrs. Barkley's in, and she says something to Jimmy, and Jimmy goes, if those are my only options, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Again, reminiscent of, it's okay. I normally stop playing with my toys the day after Christmas anyway. We'll just pretend we skipped that this year.
The only thing we're missing is a Mrs. Barkley line along the lines of, the microwave oven.
Microwave oven. Well, see, that was a different person.
You're right. Then they start planning and coming up with ideas because Donna's reluctantly in. Like, I guess if we don't have anything else to do, might as well. Then so they kick off their vacation the next day with breakfast out on the patio, and Mary is talking to George before the kids get out there, and he's like not convinced if this will work. And then George goes, "Breakfast on the patio." But no, it's the vacation, and George says that he thinks that the kids will follow their lead if the Barkley parents are excited for it, like if they have fun, that the kids will follow their lead. And then Jimmy comes out, and Mrs. Barkley's back inside getting something, and so as when Jimmy comes out, we're like, oh, that's a great way to start our vacation off, isn't it? And then for some reason, this Jimmy line is always stuck in my head. It's like, if this is what our vacation's going to be like, I like it already.
Yeah, that was like, do you find that funny? Like, is it special to have breakfast in a different spot? Sure. But do you feel like the entire family is a little too excited about oatmeal and yogurt on the back patio?
Well, Mr. Barkley even says something about, like, what's so special about oatmeal?
Well, yeah, but like
they
still,
clearly
they are
not
all,
had
like,
their life's allotment yet.
I guess not. But I just feel like they're all a little overly excited to eat breakfast outside. But I guess it's the little things.
Yeah. But yeah, then Mr. Barkley asks Jimmy to move a sprinkler that's getting too close to the table, and then he sprays his father with it, which starts a bit of a morning pre-breakfast water fight.
It's funny because it's just George and Jimmy, and then Mary comes out. I was like, "What's going on?" And they're like, "Get her!" And then Donna comes out, and they're like, "Get her!"
Yeah. But then I don't have a whole lot of notes left on the rest of the episode. I kind of just listed the things that they do.
Yeah, we get a montage, basically.
They go to the zoo, and they go look at the exhibits blindfolded to try to guess what's in them. Can I just say, the Odyssey or Campbell County or whatever zoo this is, having a hippo is a bit hard to believe, but good for them.
Good for them, but do we ever mention a zoo in Odyssey ever again?
See, that's why I think it's probably like the Campbell County Zoo, or it's in Connellsville or something.
Probably, but still, is it ever mentioned again?
I don't know. I'll have to keep
I have
an ear
zero
out.
other recollection of a zoo, so time will tell.
Yeah.
Or somebody in the comments.
And can we also just say, as far as we hear, they go see two different things, one of them being empty, and then Mr. Barkley goes, let's go horseback riding.
Again, I think this is a montage, because I'm assuming that they don't just drive up to Trickle Lake for Mary to go down the slide once and that's it. Like,
I know.
presumably
but then
more
they go horse
happens.
riding. They go up to Trickle Lake, try out the new water slide. Then they
That's
camp out
funny
in their
because
living
Jimmy
room, which
gets
is
Mary up there, and then he ends up not going down.
well, we don't know for sure that he doesn't go down. He
True.
just jokes like, "You're right, it is a little high. I think I'll just climb down."
Thanks a lot, Jimmy.
But yeah, then they go camping in their living room, which is a fun one.
That one's fun
They
because like
originally
they don't tell us right off the bat that they're in the living room, but stuff slowly starts like being a little odd if this is normal camping. Like they're using, you can hear the sounds of real dishes, and then they reference a tape, and then they use a vacuum cleaner, and then we finally realize they're in their living room.
Yeah, but it's funny too because Mr. Barkley is talking like goofy too.
Is it like a country voice or something like that?
Yeah,
Like a western voice.
yeah. It's a mighty nice harmonica, Jimmy. Thanks, Dad.
Thanks,
You
Dad.
want to hear some more?
Here's some more. Let me turn the tape over.
That's nice. Right, nice.
Apparently they had a tape going and a record because he says the nature ambience was a record.
You know what? I can see them randomly having a harmonica tape. Why do they have a nature ambience record?
They might have gone out and bought one. They might not have the budget to go
Maybe.
on vacation, but surely they got a budget for a nature ambient record. Or maybe they checked one out from the library or borrowed one from Mr. Whitaker.
Yeah, that could be. Then the last thing that they do is go to Tom Riley's barn raising.
Yeah, I put in my notes. It's giving 7 brides for 7 brothers.
Right?
All we're missing is a dance sequence, which doesn't translate real well to radio, so I can see why they left it.
Well, I mean, they do have the barn raising sequence, which is
They've
not
got a barn
dance,
raising, but not a dance.
Yeah. George and Mary talk to Whit about how much fun they've had on their vacation, and Whit's like, "Oh, I'm glad you've all had a good time." And they're like, "Well, 3 of us have. The jury's still out on whether or not Donna's have a good time." And then Whit's like, "Oh, isn't that her over there? It looks like she's having a good time." And then they overhear Donna telling one of her friends about all the fun that they'd had, and it had been one of their best vacations ever. And then Whit's like, "Well, I think that means the jury is unanimous."
Yeah, and at this point, I was like, so is this just our annual Donna lesson that vacation is fun? Like, this is the same lesson we had in Family Vacation.
I think this one's more about being open to trying new things and not so much about boredom being a choice, not a actual thing.
It's true, but in both of them, we find out through Donna telling a friend that she's actually having fun. So it is very simple.
Yeah. And then we end the vacation in much the same way it started. Jimmy comes back, spills some lemonade on his father, which starts a hose fight.
Yep. That's the episode. It's a nice, fun one.
That do be it. Yes.
Yeah. It is worth pointing out, though, I found it funny that so the only characters in this episode are the Barclay family and Whit, and then the voice of Phil Lawler is the other person on George and Jimmy's barn raising team.
Yeah.
It just, I don't know, it's just funny that they're like, we're not bringing in another actor, Phil's here, he can just be this character.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that about does it for me. Good episode, fun Jimmy lines.
Love the Barclays. Classic.
Yep. We do love the Barclays.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then what do we got next week?
Next week, we are hopping into an album 6th episode, if you're going in album order, with A Prisoner for Christ, which is when Nicholas goes back to the Imagination Station. So, that'll be a fun one.
You are Greek.
No, I'm not a... Never mind.
Anyway, yes, great episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and or listening. Subscribe wherever you get the podcast. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, bye.